Colleagues, welcome back. New year, new 5 in 5. I think I'm just going to talk about one thing though, and that is the changes in Microsoft Teams. Now, I know we've had some problems in terms of syncing and things like this and creating class notebooks, but hopefully those things will get ironed out over the next few days. But the biggest change, if you've upgraded to the latest version of Teams, and normally there's a button up here on the top right hand side saying switch to new version of Teams. The new version you'll see down here, if I just zoom in, you just have one button now, a chat button, and you don't have a button for chat and a button for Teams. They're just separate. They're not separate anymore, they're all combined into one, which means that it gives you the ability to create something called sections and gives you autonomy in terms of controlling where the chats and channels appear, because it's a little bit confusing before in that there's lots of chats and lots of different channels, but now you can group chats and channels into a section. And you can create these sections. You can see here I've got one for the chats and channels that are associated with PowerSchool. So if I see here, some of these are chats and some of these are channels. So this one here is a chat, and that's a chat as well, but these ones here are channels. And what you can do is you can drag and drop chats and channels to be under a particular heading. So for me, I've chosen those ones as project based, so that's a PowerSchool project that we're working on at the moment. Here I've got any of the chats and things that are associated to my tutor group. Here I've got family, so these are my boys, and this is a group chat that we've got. So you can now start to have control over where everything appears, and you can combine chats and channels under a particular heading. So how do you do that? Under the drop down here you can see we've got new section, and when you create a new section you give it a name and it will appear in that list, and you can drag and drop these sections to be whatever order you like. You can add icons to them. It's completely up to you, and that's what I love about it, is that now you're a bit more in control. There's a few other things that I'd like to point out to help you. Under the three dots here, you can see make all as red, which means that it will go through all of those chats and channels and just mark them, remove the bold and mark them as red. You can also, if I've opened up all of these things, you can then just click the three dots and collapse them all into one view, which is quite nice. Your channels and channels and teams are still there. You just need to open them up down here, and you can see they're all down there. But you can then use the three dots again and collapse them all just to make it nice and clean. One thing I find that's really useful is on the three dots next to each of the sections, you can do this. Look, you can either customize them, which means that you can move the items up and down depending upon what order, or you can sort them to be the most recent at the top. But I tend to use this one for chats, which is unread only. So what will happen is it would be great if somebody just sent a message right now, it would appear under the. See, you've got all of these are different. All of these are all the just most recent chats you can see here. But what I tend to do is collapse this and put the three dots on there and just unread only. And then when a chat comes in from a colleague, it will just appear there at the top, so I don't have to go and search for them. So I find this really useful in terms of making it clear as to what's come in recently. And if I then need to action something, let's say I've got a conversation here with Emma, maybe I need to action this, I would go to three dots, more actions, and then I would add it to a planner task, and that will appear in my Outlook as a planner task. Or sometimes I just kept them or leave it as mark unread, and you can see now in my chats I've got the mark unread and it's gone bold, and that's how I can remember that it's still there. So have a play around with this. It's a really good feature, I think, in Teams in terms of its development. Okay, I'm going to stop there a little bit before 5 minutes. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye bye.